Greetings, tiny people that live in my computer. Today we're going to be going over a few changes coming to the channel. First of all, we hit 40k like a week ago, which is pretty neat. But subscribers are really just a vanity number. I can use YouTube analytics to tell me that I have a pretty consistent 100,000 plus people who show up every month to watch multiple videos of mine. Most of them though just don't happen to hit that red button, which is fine because in 2023 YouTube, subscribers have no real bearing on the algorithm, and they don't really affect anything tangible, and it certainly doesn't guarantee a view. It really is just a vanity number to show how many people you've convinced to press a small red button, and my channel has almost doubled in subscribers over the last 2 months, so I'm apparently pretty decent at convincing people to do it despite rarely ever asking for it. But there is some bad news. Well, it's not bad news, it just might be disappointing to some of you. I am going to be stopping daily uploads for now, after doing it for about 65 days straight. Now, there's a lot of reasons for this, number one being that 7 Days to Die is seeing a pretty big downturn in its players as the hype for Alpha 21 melts away. And it's not alarming, it does this every time there's a major update. Luckily, it always tends to be in a higher position than it was before that update, which can be said for my channel as well. But as interest wanes on 7 Days to Die, so does my view count. Now, this isn't some pity party, oh send me money, my channel's dying, or anything like that. I am in no need of financial aid. This is not e-begging and my channel is fine. It's still very profitable and I still make a solid amount of money for the size of channel I have. And I'm certainly in a much better resting position than I was before Alpha 21. But as views fall naturally, and as such so does the revenue, it becomes less worthwhile to try and fight that decline. I'm basically working as hard as I was during the peak of Alpha 21, but for like half of the return. You know, it's kinda like trying to swim against the current, and it's not very easy to do in YouTube. So as the natural resting point comes back, it makes more sense to switch over to a more sustainable upload schedule of 5 uploads per week, Tuesday to Saturday, or if you're a member or a patron, you'll get those on Monday through to Friday because they of course get 24 hours early access. The second reason I'm doing this is I have not had a single day off in about 70 days. That's including the weekends. Just 70 straight days of working anywhere between 6 to 10 hours a day, and it's very mentally draining. So in the interest of avoiding a pretty severe burnout, and in the interest of having more energy in my recordings and being able to be more entertaining in them, for now at least, I think 5 uploads per week is a good balance. Some other slightly disappointing news for like the 6 of you who care is that I think I'm going to be stopping the Infected series, and it's not about the performance or me not liking the game. I really do enjoy it, and it does acceptably well for content that isn't 7 Days to Die on my channel. It's just I'm kind of on a clock to get Desert Ranger done now before Starfield comes out on September 6th, because I don't want to mix the uploads between those two series, because I plan on playing Starfield and there will be at least a few videos on it because of the way I batch record and edit a few days in advance where possible. So I'll get Starfield when they make it available for the people who bought the Ultimate Dumbass Edition like me, who get it up to a week early. And I'll pump out a few videos that will go live when the day comes out for the other 99% of people who are going to play it. So expect at minimum a week's worth of Starfield videos, for better or for worse. I'm playing it, I'm editing it, and it's gonna come out, and if it bombs, it bombs. It's as simple as that. But to my point, The Infected would kind of get in the way of the main 7 Days to Die series finishing, because I'm going to have a shorter 15 episode series, and trying to do 1 or 2 more Infected videos is just gonna cut that series even further down than it already will be, which I just don't think is worth it on my reduced schedule. That's not to say The Infected will never return, mind you, just that other things are currently in the way, and I do have to prioritize the mainstay game 7 Days to Die. And when it comes to potential for growth, I do have to prioritize something with the potential like Starfield over The Infected. And something has to be cut out somewhere because I'm of course doing less uploads. I don't know, we'll see if I still do another couple of videos, if I maybe want to spend some of my spare time working for some reason. But what I'm saying is don't hold your breath on that series having an end. I imagine it might return at some stage though, because I do genuinely enjoy it. As for what to expect in September in terms of videos, Starfield is getting its week. For better or for worse, it's happening. If the first few videos do well, then I'll do a full 20 episode series. That means no 7 Days to Die for like a month, which is very scary to me because at least like 70% of my viewers are exclusively here for that. So it does sort of become a game of, can I convince many of them to watch Starfield, and can I make up for that temporary loss of viewership with new Starfield viewers? And when I'm done with Starfield, can I convince any of them to come back to the other content? The case for 90% of the people involved in that is going to be no. Welcome to YouTube, especially if you want to be a variety creator. It's hard, and I'm gonna do it anyway. And I know I have at least a couple of thousand people who just watch whatever I put out, which is really cool, because they like me, and it's not the game they're here for. They're just entertained by me being me in videos. I don't know why, but I'm told some of you like that. Now the goal here would be to try and get myself from a couple of thousand of those quotation marks ideal viewers to like 20 or 30,000 of those ideal viewers who will watch most if not all my videos because I'm in them and they like me, which would essentially guarantee a pretty stable baseline salary for my work on YouTube. And I already make a solid amount of money on YouTube, but the problem is that that's only tied to 7 Days to Die, which as you can see is a problem because it's having a downturn right now. But if I want to have people who are here not just for 7 Days to Die, it does make sense to play things that aren't 7 Days to Die. Not that I plan on ditching 7 Days to Die altogether. Expect to see a Darkness Falls playthrough and an Undead Legacy playthrough because I want to put out that content, but I won't be forcing it. And as long as 7 Days to Die is still receiving major updates like Alpha 22, I'll at least make a couple of series on it, one going through the experimental and one going through the main stable game as like an updated survival guide series. That's another thing I'll just happily do, as well as any mods that interest me. I don't think doing endless 20-part series of 7 Days to Die is good for anyone. You get a lot of, I only watch 7 Days to Die, stop posting this when you make other content. And you know what? Fuck 'em. There are hundreds of 7 Days to Die channels out there. They can go out and watch as much 7 Days to Die as they can fit in their eye holes. But if they want me, they'll come and watch me. The people who are more interested in me than the game are the people who are of any kind of long-term value. And I've decided those people will be catered to, not the "this isn't 7 Days to Die, this sucks" people. The pivot will hurt, but it's necessary for any kind of long-term success. If the initial episodes of Starfield do well, we'll do a full series, and then if any games pique my interest between the Starfield series and the release of Nightingale, another game I'm going to be playing at least a little bit of, then we'll play whatever I find. If nothing piques my interest, then we'll just go back to 7 Days to Die. But that's what to expect in the coming months for IzPrebuilt. Some 7 Days to Die, some Starfield, some Nightingale, maybe some other games thrown in there, and slightly fewer uploads. For some of you that is all great news. For some of you that's all bad news. It's a very difficult decision to try and branch out and try and slow down for your own health and sanity, because every instinct says just do what's safe, upload 7 Days to Die forever. But that's not what I want, and that's not what my core audience wants either. And at this stage in my YouTube journey, I have to start prioritizing viewers who want to support me over the viewers who just want me to slave away producing the exact same videos over and over again because they themselves are resistant to change. Between my stubbornness and the stubbornness of a lot of the 7 Days to Die player base who only watch 7 Days to Die, there is only one person whose stubbornness I can fix, and that's my own. I have to take risks and grow. I can't force the viewers to do that for me, with me, or in place of me. If I lose some of them along the way, that's just what has to happen for me to become the best version of myself. Anyone who wants to try and prevent me from becoming the best version of myself isn't a very valuable viewer now, are they? That's the very definition of holding someone back. And I think that's part of what has made me become very mercenary in the recent months. The cold response from those particular viewers who just want me to do the same thing over and over again have sapped a lot of joy out of the process for me, and the only incentive I've had to continue was the money. Though I became a very exaggerated version of the cutthroat mercenary we all know I am, but I think embracing the people who actually do want the best for me and do just want me to play things I enjoy because they enjoy watching me and they prefer me to be more positive is the better business plan. Because if I can grow that audience, that currently, you know, 2,000 to 3,000 people who will watch most of what I put out because they like watching me, and stop catering to those very fickle viewers who complain whenever I do something that isn't 7 Days to Die, and they also complain that I complain about 7 Days to Die, you know, very hilarious. Why are you not just watching someone else at that point? But I think if I stop catering to those fickle viewers, I can grow to much better heights. And I can do it while actually enjoying myself, which makes the content better, which makes most of the viewers happier. A nice little positive circle, rather than a war I fight to keep the core 7 Days to Die audience engaged. That's 7 Days to Die's job, not mine. My audience shouldn't be, it might currently be, but it shouldn't be, and it will not be, just the 7 Days to Die audience. So yeah, that's the IzPrebuilt channel update. Thanks for watching. Give yourself a nice little pat on the back, because if you watched this far, you're most definitely a part of that core audience worth catering towards, so, you know, thanks for that. Or the things I said pissed you off so much you're hate typing a comment, in which case, no one cares, come on. Anyway, speaking of thanking people, a special thank you to my channel members and patrons. If you want to become either of those, you can click the links in the description. Since you've watched this, you might be interested in watching another video. I recommend this video on the upper right. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.